Alright, what's up everybody? Today I wanted to go over my take on Saiyan Oppressive Bio Brawly, the new Brawly stack for Movie Collection 2 that just came out. This Brawly mainly focuses on energy attacks rather than physical attacks, like his previously released counterpart. I chose Saiyan Oppressive Mastery because of the skip. You can either gain 2 stages or raise your anger 1 level based on the number of energy attacks in this deck. It's good to have the anger to hop levels and get the stages back, or you can gain the 2 stages in a pinch to respond with an energy attack once they skip. And then the card filtering when entering combat is always good. The power rejuvenates cards. Rejuvenating cards is a large engine of the Brawly character stack. I'll start with the energy attacks. I picked 3 of the new Gigantic Meteor. When you reveal it from your hand, you can choose a card in your discard pile and rejuvenate it. So a lot of times you're revealing your hand at level 2 and level 3. If you have 2 attacks, you draw a card. And if you have 2 attacks, I believe you rejuvenate, or yeah, you search for a styled setup or drill at level 2. So being able to rejuvenate cards in combat is great at any level. Like at level 1, you raise your anger 2. So that'll get you level hopping really fast here. So the actual attack itself is pretty good. If they stop it, they banish the top 2 cards of their life deck, or they can let it hit for 6. It might be even 8 if you're on level 2 or level 3 or 4. And with a hit, you can raise your anger 2 levels, and it has 2 endurance. So overall, it's a really solid card in this build. The next one is Eraser Cannon, essential for clearing the board of setups, drills, and allies. And again, you get an anger from it automatically. And if it hits, you get to do banish a second setup, drill, or ally. So nothing wrong with that. This is a new card, Saiyan Burst. Costs 2 stages, has 3 endurance. You raise your anger 1 and lower your opponent's anger 3. It does 5 life cards. If it hits, you can rejuvenate a styled card in your discard pile. So again, this works well with Brawly's engine. Regenerating cards gives you anger or other effects later on in the stack. So really like this card. It's very solid, and every time it's in my hand, it's always welcome. This is an interesting attack as well, especially in Oppressive. So it costs 3 stages. That's why I only have 2 of them. I might consider upping this to 3 based on meta calls and stuff like that. But it can only be stopped in energy combat card, and your opponent skips their next action. That's built in. So already you're going to get either 2 stages back or an anger off of this. And then if it hits and they haven't performed an action yet, you can draw a card. So what I like to do is use a different style attack first, because your mastery gives it an auto skip effect, and then you can follow up with this. And if they let this hit, you draw another card because they haven't done anything yet this combat. So really aggressive, really solid. I would highly consider this upping to 3. I can probably make room for it somewhere. And then next one is Saiyan Domination. If you have a higher power level than the defender, when you perform this, they can't play events. So very powerful. It's shutting down Unleash builds, Time as Warrior's Tool, making hybrid defense. There's a number of high value events in numerous decks. So I have this as a 2 of because it's not banished after use, and there's a lot of rejuvenation in this build through your personality powers or others. So I think it's a good fit at 2, because you might not always have the highest power level depending on who you're playing against as well. My brother pointed this card out to me. It's kind of been forgotten from the Android saga. Energy attack doesn't cost any stages, but your opponent's effects cannot discard cards from your hand this combat. Great against the mischievous matchup. There might be other things that discard card from your hands these days. So 6 life, no stages, and most likely it's doing 8 on level 3 and 4. So I think that's a pretty good solid 2 of as well. Again, you can rejuvenate this and use it more if you need it. Pinpoint Blast I have 2 of as well. I wanted to fit a lot of these techie energies in, so that's why I run a lot of 2 ofs. But yeah, this one gives you a free crit effect, and it might crit from the damage as well, because you have that 2 life card boost on level 3 and 4 like I've been saying. Sludge Bomb, this is a pretty powerful card. It's new for Movie Collection 2. You can rejuvenate it during combat. You can banish it instead to choose 2 cards in a player's discard pile and banish them. I don't have any dev blows, but if you need to get rid of critical cards in the opponent's discard pile, that is an option. Or you can you can banish non-styled cards from your discard pile if you really need a styled rejuve for your mastery or whatever have you. So yeah, 2 stages, endurance cannot be used, 5 life cards again, 7 life cards later in the game, and hit you can raise or lower player's anger 1 level. So a lot of use, and it has an endurance as well. So pretty valuable card. Here are the blocks. I really like the blocks in this deck. It's just I only run what 10. So this one, Saiyan Energy Release, stop an energy, your opponent skips their next action. So really, it's stop an energy attack, your opponent skips, and then you can raise your anger 1 or gain 2 stages. So very high value card, and it has 2 endurance to boot. I have 2 of these, mostly for the attach factor. It increases your POR by 3, but mostly this is Unleash fodder. It's another attach card, and you rejuvenate when change levels, so it synergizes with Brawly's want to rejuvenate cards. Might consider upping this to a 3, depending on your situation, but you also have Saiyan Outrage, which will give you an attached card to put it on your personality at the end of the combat. And then, yeah, this is banished after use in the most recent printing, but I think this is a solid 2 of. I wanted to make priority of these 2 blocks here. This is the MVP. I tell you, I would run. Sorry, my dog's got a squeaky toy. I would run. Come on. So stops a physical attack, and your opponent skips again. So same rationale. You can either get 2 stages back, raise your anger 1, gain a clutch level. But yeah, anytime they can skip, that's what you want. I love this card. Amazing card. Okay, here's the setups and drills here. So I got 1 copy of the Overpowering Aura drill. So when it enters play, you can search for an attached card from your life deck or discard pile. And then whenever you rejuvenate during combat, you can lower their anger 1 level. So I mostly use this to get the attacher, but putting this out at level 2 and then using your power lowers their anger. Yeah, it'll come up a lot where you can rejuvenate during combat, so that can add up, and you only need a clutch 1 or 2. Come on, dog. You only need a clutch 1 or 2 lowerings. Okay, that's unforgivable. I have to take this away from her. Sorry. And then Saiyan Pre-Game is a setup. When entering combat, your opponent skips their first action, so this is great to like lay out and then pass rejuve and let your opponent enter on you. He'll skip. You'll rejuvenate 1 when entering combat, which can help level you up off level 1. And then they skip their first action, you play a style attack, they skip their next action, and then you can have like a gut kicker or something handy and have them skip 3 times in a row. So really powerful card. 2 endurance. I would probably put 3 of these in any oppressive deck, even like a physical beatdown deck. Excuse me. So this is Saiyan Corruption Drill. This is a newer card as well. I don't really get to use the infinity power too much in this build. The main factor here is after you perform a successful attack, it doesn't have to be styled here. If it hits, they skip their next action in this combat, and then you can gain 2 stages. So again, another skip, gaining 2 stages automatically, then you can gain 2 more, or you can gain an anger as well. So really powerful mechanic, and I run 3 because if I have one of these in my hand when I enter combat, I can just draw a card and discard this. So I always want to make sure I have this out in play because it's a very powerful effect, and it'll give you 1 skip from your mastery and 1 skip from your drill. So that's 2 skips per combat. So that's 2 anger, and pretty powerful if you can lay on the heat before they can respond. I have run a copy of Saiyan Rescue. Rejuvenating during combat triggers a lot of the personality powers. Very useful effect. You can get key cards back, so you can go back to your non-banished after use energy attacks, even your eraser cannons if you need them. You can get all these 2-ofs back in the deck, so really powerful there. The earlier you get this, the more powerful it is. 3 stare down, just because this is like an energy beats deck mainly, but it's good to get those key cards out of your opponent's hand. I have 1 copy of Striking Blast. Yeah, this is clutch. You attach it to your MP, and then if you unleash, and then they unleash you and try to unleash you down, you can guard a level with this card. So really big fan of it. I might throw 2 in there, but 1's been plenty for me so far. I also run 3 spheres. I actually won a game by throwing out a Gigantic Meteor. They tried to use a hybrid defense, and I sphered it for game, so clutch at getting those event blocks out of the way. Time is War's tool. If you have a really powerful, potent combo hand, you can sphere their stare down or confrontation, so I would include pretty much 3 of these in any deck at this point. Of course, Time is War's tool, and then 3 Unleashed. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 attachers in this deck. So you only really need 1 level from this, but yeah, getting to level 3, very key. Level 4 is just insane as well. So really makes the deck go, and you can't win by MPPV anyway from your mastery, so might as well have them. I run a very small suite of physical attacks. The Face Crusher in here for the endurance, and the hit effect raises your anger 2 levels. It is very unlikely that you'll reveal a style physical attack in this build because there's only 6. But if you're a Juve right or stack right by stealing a ball 7 or something, it can come in handy. But really that 10 endurance, I can't really leave it out, and the hit raise your anger 2, also very beneficial to me to level up and get those stages back. Saiyan Gut Kick is, even if you're an energy beats deck, I would include 3 of these in any oppressive build at all. Solid damage, and they skip, so you get 2 stages back or raise your anger 1. Yeah, I really can't go wrong with it. There's nothing better than like pre-gaming, doing an attack, they skip, doing a styled attack, they skip, and then doing a gut kick and they skip. So that's 3 anger uninterrupted, 6 stages uninterrupted, plus you're doing damage or wasting their key blocks for something later in combat. Turning kick. It's got 3 endurance, and if you banish it for endurance, you can search your discard pile for a drill and play it. So you got your corruption drills and your overpowering aura drill. And then if you do have a drill in play, it does 7 life cards and can't be prevented. So it's just a good kind of little sneak attack here, because you've been throwing energies all day, and then all of a sudden, hey, 9 life cards unpreventable if you're level 3 or 4. So very powerful move, and it can really swing the game if they're not holding that physical block for you. And then last but not least at all is Suppressive Strike. So no ending combat. I can't end combat myself, so I don't want them to end combat. And I'm a Saiyan, so I rejuvenate 2, which triggers my personality powers. So really beneficial card. Yeah, solid damage. You can usually sneak about like 6 or 7 stages in with this against most characters. And start off combat with that, and really just give it to them. So that's the deck so far. This is my first draft. Let me pull out the other personality levels real quick so you can kind of see some synergies here before we wrap up. But yeah, your level 1 you'll get off of really quick. You rejuvenate a style card during combat, so you raise your anger 2, and your power does that automatically. You can reveal 2 to rejuvenate 1 instantly and get to 2 anger, and then you get a hit for 3 life cards and rejuvenate again. You can't get the anger more than once, but really useful for keeping your life deck full of stuff you want. Level 2, when you rejuvenate, you gain 2 stages automatically, so you can mostly use your mastery for the anger at that point. And then you can reveal 2 attack cards from your hand after rejuvenating 2 to pull out a styled setup or drill. So you can get your pre-games out. If you can use more than one pre-game per fight, it's insane. Get your corruption drill out, get that double skip from your mastery, and this really powerful. Level 3, you get the +2 life card buff, and then you get a crit effect every time you rejuvenate during combat. So that's really powerful against a lot of builds these days. And then energy for 6, you reveal 2 attack cards to draw a card. So you really just keep the energy beats going, you keep your stages up, you keep your anger high, and then you get to level 4, you do an energy attack, you get to rejuvenate any 3 cards in your discard pile that don't have to be styled, and then if it hits for 6 life, you banish the top 10 cards of your opponent's discard pile. So If you need to control discard pile early in the game, you can kind of rely on these, but between Unleash and All the Anger, you will get to 4 most games, and then you can just banish a lot of their discard pile. If anything, you can throw out like a Gigantic Meteor, and if they stop it from like a shield or some kind of effect, they still banish too. But if they want to block this, because they want you to get your stages back, you can hit with this and banish a bunch of their discard piles. So, really powerful deck. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would change about it. Again, this is mostly energy beats. Some techie physicals in here, and then I think I hit the sweet spot on setup and drills here. There is like Saiyan Outrage and stuff like that, but I didn't want to bloat it too much. I really like Pre-Game, but thinking about it, Saiyan Outrage does rejuvenate cards, so that might help you. But I think it has to be during combat. Yeah, during combat. So that's probably why I didn't put Saiyan Outrage in here. But I love these blocks. So yeah, my favorite attacks are probably Burst and Chest Blast. This is my favorite block, and you gotta love Unleashed and Saiyan Rescue, Gut Kick, Turning Kick, Suppressive Strike. So lots of powerful cards in here. So again, let me know what you think. Hit like, leave a comment. This is the first draft, so let's make this deck unbeatable. And I think next I'm going to try a physical version with the other original Brawley stack with the same mastery here, and just a whole bunch of styled physicals. So that would make Face Crusher really valuable in that build. And I'll see how it goes. I'll see which one I like better. But so far I'm liking this one. Level 2 can be kind of boring, but you can set up your board, which is nice. But yeah, once you get to level 3 and 4, it's just over. Similar to how the other Brawley stack was. So yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.